glory in those glory days of old. Where is your song for justice? Where is your song for the working man? I was born in the USA, and you spill my promised land. You preach from your mansion, but you don't know the cost. I thank God you're not the boss. What about Lake and Riley? Is Charlie too hard to say? What about when you took your shot at the one you called king? Where is your song?
Welcome to After Hours with Alex Stein. It's a beautiful Tuesday evening in the DFW area, and I'm so honored to have our guest. You were just listening to her new hit song, Natasha Owens, The Boss, and we welcome on the beautiful, the lovely, the talented country music superstar, future superstar, already superstar. You know, I don't want to be egregious, but I want to be fair. Natasha, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you got to talk louder than that already. I can already tell. Do not be shy, Natasha. You know, I know that you're already pro big booty Latina. We already talked a little bit before the show. So Natasha, she's getting all quiet. She wouldn't shut up before the show started. Now you're sitting over there being quiet, and her husband's over there watching. I'm sure she's afraid that I'm going to say something rude. But I want to tell you this much, Natasha. Bruce Springsteen used to be one of the biggest icons in music history, and now he's like a libtarded woke freak.
He sure is.
Why did he go that way? I mean, a guy that was so well respected, especially like on the East Coast, like people worship Bruce Springsteen like he was like a deity or, like a godlike figure.
Oh, yeah.
And now he stinks.
Well, he's always been that way. He was a draft dodger. He's always been so liberal. But people loved his music, so they just overlooked it, didn't care. But now politics is involved in everything that's culture.
Well, there was like a Pete Holmes bit where, what song is it? Because I don't know all the Bruce Springsteen songs. I grew up in the 90s. Like, I listened to Wu-Tang Clan. But what was the one where it's like kind of about like a little girl, about how he liked a little girl? Do you know the song I'm talking about?
I have not heard the pedophile song, but
okay,
I like Born in the USA, and those lyrics
That's
from
a
the
great
match.
song. Born in the USA is a great song. I mean, even though it's libtarded, it's still a good song. We can give credit where credit's due. So tonight, though, we're going to dive deep into Savannah Guthrie. We're going to talk about Michael Jackson. We're going to play your song and play the music video, which is getting, very well received everywhere. I think it's, gone viral on Instagram and Twitter. So it's a very popular song. And at a time where conservatives don't have a lot of artists that actually mention people like Laken Riley, who was brutally murdered by a Trendearuga gang member that came here during the Biden administration, just free and clear, like it was no big deal, like he was on vacation, but he was literally raping girls at a gas station and murdering her brutally. So I appreciate you bringing awareness to a topic that the mainstream media would never touch.
Yeah, I'm controversial in the circles that we walk in, right? I'm like kryptonite a lot of times, but I'm very bold and unapologetic. I don't apologize. I double down. And I think the world is wanting that. They're wanting truth, and they're wanting someone that will just stand up and say it's not right, and we're pushing back against this culture ideology.
Well, you're exactly right. I go and I speak at a lot of colleges, and, I'm not a role model. You can look at me. I'm not much of a role model. But I do tell people that I was telling you a little bit about my background, but when I started living unapologetically myself, and not worrying about the opinions of strangers.
Yeah.
Of course you worry about the opinions of your husband, your wife, your family, because, you live with them. But other than your family or really close friends, you shouldn't worry about the opinions of strangers, because it's like, what do they say? It's like opinions are like buttholes. Everybody has one and they all stink. I guess that's for excuses, but I think opinions...
it works.
Yeah, I think it works for opinions too. So, Natasha, you and I were talking a little bit about this incredible story about Savannah Guthrie. Am I saying that right? They're getting mad at me for not saying it right. Is it Guthrie? How do I say it?
Tomato, like, I don't know.
All right,
I call her Guthrie.
But I want to say Guthrie. Like, who, Guth? I mean, that's goo to me. But listen, I'm not a linguist. I'm just primetime Alex Stein. So I want to play this news clip where it has footage of the alleged kidnapper, but could it be AI? There's been footage where it looks like Savannah has like 6 fingers. So I'm really starting to question what is real and what is fake. But let's play this clip, and then I want to get your reaction to it.
New details on the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie.
Yeah, big developments today. Investigators releasing images of a masked person at Guthrie's home. And this is big news as they piece together what happened to Today's Show co-anchor Savannah Guthrie's 84-year-old mother. Today, the FBI released a new surveillance video of a subject in this investigation. Take a look at this video, not this video, but they have video from a Nest camera at Nancy Guthrie's home outside Tucson, Arizona.
The video shows someone wearing a mask who authorities say is armed. Here's that video, and appears to have tampered with Nancy Guthrie's front door the morning she disappeared. There's a recent post as well from Savannah Guthrie pleading for help, saying they are in an hour of desperation.
So I'm coming on just to ask you, not just for your prayers, but no matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson, if you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement. We are at an hour of desperation, and we need your help.
Nancy Guthrie was first reported missing on.
And I just want to say that I'm very empathetic to Savannah. I know that she's going through a tough time, and a lot of people, they think their life is bad. But believe it or not, even if you're a multimillionaire TV host, terrible things happen to you too. So, and I'm not trying to like put her on a pedestal. I'm just saying it's like life is very short. That's why we need to have gratitude that we're not in the situation that our mom got kidnapped. But I say that because I want to say that that video looked like garbage. It looked fake. It looked weird to me. Even the Nest logo in it looked kind of weird. So what do you think's going on? Like, could this be an inside job in your opinion,
It's
Natasha?
looking like that. Every day it's a weirder detail that comes in and out. And I think, actually, I recognize that person behind the mask. It looked like Hillary Clinton to me.
It kind of did. Well,
I'm just saying.
I think it looked like a white guy. So the idea that like it was like a cartel member or something, I don't think that that's real at all. And, you know, speaking of that, we have a clip. Now, this is a homicide veteran that is basically saying and agreeing with what we were saying about how a lot of this doesn't pass the sniff test, because a real like assassin or kidnapper, if you're going to take somebody for ransom and they were 84 years old, you would actually be smart enough to also take the medication. So let's play this clip of this veteran homicide investigator.
I don't think she was kidnapped. We would have heard, listen, there would have been a video, there would have been a photograph, there would have been something, a lock of hair, a drop of blood, something mailed to somebody so they could verify, yes, in fact, these people have my mother. Kidnappers want to get paid quickly. They don't want this thing to linger. If you're negotiating with another drug dealer in South America somewhere, it could go on for a few weeks, a month, until they get bored and decide this is not worth it. And it's either pay up or we're going to kill this person. And it's always a negotiation, right? The first figure they throw out is never what actually gets paid, like any good business deal. There's going to be a negotiation, but it's going to be a fast and hard one. And there's been no negotiations. No one's called up and said, hey, where's my money? That hasn't happened. For the simple reason is nobody's kidnapped her, I don't think. If you're a good kidnapper, you're going to grab the medication on the way out the door because you're going to have to take care of her. You're going to have to keep her alive and healthy, right? So it shows a total lack of planning. The total lack of forensic evidence of anyone being in that house, of grabbing her, is another clue that she wasn't kidnapped.
Now, this kind of reminds me of the situation with Seth Rich. Now, Seth Rich was a DNC staffer that was allegedly the one that was responsible for leaking the Hillary emails and leaking a lot of information that made the Democratic Party look bad before the 2016 election. And whoever killed Seth Rich, I'm not saying Hillary Clinton, probably Hillary Clinton, but they robbed him but didn't take his wallet, didn't take his watch, and I think he had an expensive watch. So, once again, didn't pass the smell test. And I think what's so spooky about this, Natasha, is that the connection to the Clintons seems like overwhelmingly close. The fact that Savannah's husband worked for a company that was hired by the Clintons to scrub people's, I guess, embarrassing information off the internet. And coming up next, but I want to get your opinion, we're actually going to play a clip that really connects the Clintons to the Guthries. But what do you think about all this when that homicide investigator says, you know, this doesn't look like a real kidnapping? I tend to agree with him.
It looked like amateur hour to me. I mean, look how he fumbled with the Ring camera. I think I could do better than that.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, he pulls up a bunch of weeds to put in front of it. Like, it just looked like somebody that they hired down at Bubba's garage to you know, take this woman.
Yeah, he's like a chat GPT assassin. I mean, they're just not even real. It just seems very bizarre. Even the video seems bizarre. So, I mean, like I said earlier, my heart goes out to Savannah. I don't think that she would organize this, even though she probably, I mean, I don't want to say this. She probably likes that she's super famous from this, but at the same exact time, I mean, I would be very worried if my 84-year-old mother was
Yeah, it would be
in the
horrible.
hands of somebody evil without her medication, and that would
horrible.
make me absolutely sick. So coming up next, guys, we're going to actually dive even deeper, and we're going to connect the Clintons to the Guthries, and we're also going to go into a lot more information from Megyn Kelly talking about how NBC pressured her to show a lot of her personal family information, and a lot of this doesn't make sense, but coming up next, we're going to get into all of that.
In those glory days of old, where is your song for justice?